In the early 1930s, Germany was a nation in turmoil. The aftermath of World War I and the Great Depression had left the country in economic ruin, and the people were desperate for change. Amidst this chaos, a charismatic leader named Adolf Hitler rose to power. But how did he transform from the leader of a small political party to the dictator of Germany? It all began on January 30th, 1933, when President Paul von Hindenburg appointed Hitler as Chancellor of Germany. This was a significant step, but it was just the beginning. Hitler, the leader of the National Socialist German Workers' Party, had promised to restore Germany's greatness. Many believed he could bring stability to the fractured nation. Hitler wasted no time in consolidating his power. The Nazi Party quickly moved to exploit the fears and hopes of the German people, rallying them with promises of revival, employment, and national strength. Propaganda became a crucial tool, spreading the Nazi message across the nation. Just weeks later, on February 27, 1933, disaster struck. The Reichstag building was engulfed in flames. The Nazis claimed the fire was the work of communist agitators, presenting it as part of a larger conspiracy to overthrow the government. The very next day, President Hindenburg signed the Reichstag fire decree, which granted Hitler's government sweeping emergency powers. Civil liberties were suspended, political gatherings were banned, and the Nazis began a ruthless campaign of repression, targeting communists and other opponents. On March 23, 1933, the Reichstag convened under heavy Nazi pressure to pass the Enabling Act. This critical piece of legislation allowed Hitler to enact laws without the need for parliamentary consent, effectively giving him dictatorial powers. The democratic foundations of the Weimar Republic were dismantled in a single stroke. With the Enabling Act in place, Hitler and the Nazis moved quickly to solidify their control. Opposition parties were banned, the media was brought under state control, and concentration camps were established to detain political prisoners. Germany was rapidly transforming into a totalitarian state. On August 2, 1934, President Hindenburg died. Hitler seized the moment, merging the offices of President and Chancellor and declaring himself Führer and Reich Chancellor of Germany. This consolidation of power was confirmed by a plebiscite later that month, where a vast majority of the population approved Hitler's new role. The final step in Hitler's consolidation of power came when the military swore an oath of personal loyalty to him. This unprecedented move ensured that the armed forces were directly under his command, eliminating any remaining checks on his authority. By mid-1934, Adolf Hitler had successfully dismantled the democratic structures of the Weimar Republic and established himself as the absolute dictator of Germany. His regime would go on to implement policies that led to the devastation of Europe and the horrors of the Holocaust. Through political cunning, exploitation of fear, and ruthless suppression of opposition, Adolf Hitler transformed Germany into a totalitarian state. This dark chapter in history serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked power and the fragility of democracy.